Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. I'm joined by Pudgy, the cat, and this is going to be a horoscope for Libra. So if that is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Okay. Now, if you have been to the channel before, I thank you for coming back. And if this is your first time watching a video, thank you so much for joining me. Please go ahead, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know how I'm doing. All of these kinds of engagement help me get into the algorithm, which I really appreciate. So maybe get these messages out to more people. Okay, let's see. See if I can kind of just move this up a little bit. Maybe the light will be a little bit better. Okay. We got a cat here who really wants to be petted. Okay. All right, Libra, how are you doing today? Looks like the majority of the leaves kind of went into this large formation over here, and I'm just gonna kind of turn this. Okay. So this one here is really the most apparent formation, the largest obviously, and you know, it's just so obvious that it is a circle, right? So usually when the formation is in the center of, he just knocked over my tree. I'm sorry, I'm having difficulties here. Okay. Hopefully he'll go lay down now. Okay, so the circle. So if it is in the center of the bowl here, or cup, whatever you're reading from, this is the area that, for me, how I read, is that this pertains to the person I'm reading for. So this is going to be part of your story, something about you, your personality, character traits, you know, things that are on your mind, something like that. Okay, so this circle immediately makes me think that, you know, really you are just a very well-developed person. And I think, and I say that as interior development, and also, you know, within your career path, probably family life, love life. I think that you are a pretty balanced person. I don't think that, you know, listen, we all have parts of our life that we would like to change or, you know, work on. So, when I say that you're, you know, a well-developed person, you might say, okay, well, Lenore, you know, I have this and this and this to work on. But that doesn't mean that you aren't very, you know, quite developed. It just means that you have that drive in you to continue to do the work, which we all need to. The work is never done, right? So I think that you have come to a point where things are really just kind of going the way that you imagined they would, the way that you manifested, the way that you kind of line things up so that they would work out in that way. I think that you're probably a fairly meticulous person. I think that you are quite aware that you need to, you know, not just go out there and wish for something to come along your way, or just hope that a miracle happens, and don't put in any kind of work, or, you know, line up the variables so the thing that you want to happen will happen. I think that you're very conscious and very willing to do the things that you need to do to get to where you want to go. And I think that that has made you a very functional and what's that? The word holistic keeps coming to mind, but it's also just a wholeness, like a holistic wholeness. I think mind, body, spirit really are aligned right now. I think that you have a lot of clarity. I think that there's a good amount of joy, but it's not the high highs that you're looking for. I think for you, it's just about the consistency, what's the word? Consistency, contentment, balance, routine. I think that you really worked hard to get all these things kind of in line, and I just see that it really is coming together. It has come together. Okay, now it's interesting because I kind of see these other little formations here, and they look like they're almost kind of circling the circle, right? So I wonder if, because of your alignment, you're just probably radiant, just a very, like, put out very attractive, positive, healthy kind of, you know, you just sometimes meet people that have, you know, that feeling that's like, okay, this person really kind of has it together. They definitely have been working on themselves. They seem a little bit more in tune than most people. I think that you have that feeling, and I think that you have been attracting different kinds of people into your life, be that coworkers or friends, potential romantic partners, but I don't know if, I can't tell yet. I haven't looked enough to see if you are in a relationship or not. It doesn't matter. I think that you really just attract people. And I think that, you know, right now at least you have two people that are really, really kind of, you know, sliding in your DMs, so to speak. And if one of those are your partner already, or if you have a partner and you have these other people kind of hitting you up, or maybe you're a single person and you're looking or not looking, but you're attracting people. And I see that. I see at least one of them is kind of like in a very, this one up here is kind of like hunched, almost like on the prowl. I think that there's one that's definitely more aggressive. I don't know if you like that though. I don't feel like you really like overly aggressive people. Maybe you like kind of you like somebody that is attentive, that pays attention to detail, that's thoughtful, will go out of their way to remember something that you like maybe, you know, kind of the cliche thing, but like how you take your coffee, or, you know, what's your favorite breakfast sandwich or something like that, you know, but, I think this person's just, one of them at least is kind of more, just very aggressive and kind of off-putting, I feel like, for you. I think it's almost to the point where you're kind of like really not into it. Like it maybe was a fun flirtation at first, but then it got a little too aggressive. And this other one, this is interesting. Once they get it into this position, it kind of looks like, almost like, it reminds me of a road runner. So I think this other one is also going fast, but there's something more quaint about them. I think it's almost like, I don't know, maybe they're like self-deprecating, or a little bit more, I get this sensation. Okay, I'm getting in my head this like sensation or impression of somebody who is like self-deprecating, but is very like, they know the game they're playing. Like, they are not like nefarious in the way that they're flirting and talking to you, but they're aware of how they affect people. And I think that they know that you kind of like that they kind of poke fun at themselves. They have a little more humility, maybe a little more humble. And, but I think they're really intent on making this thing happen. And I think it's going a little faster than, maybe that you want, but not in a creepy, weird way like the other one, but like not a pushy way, but just kind of, I think you have a lot of fun talking with this person and hanging out with them. And, it's going a little bit quicker than maybe than you'd like. And I don't even know that you're looking for a relationship, really. I'm looking around, and I'm also really noticing there's a lot of fragments of stuff everywhere. I think that there's, you know, lingering old stuff. And I think that makes sense, because that's really, you know, I think that trauma, it doesn't have to be trauma, but trauma, or the end of an era of your life, or the end of a cycle within an era, something big was like a catalyst to all of this kind of self-work that you have going on. And I think most likely that was, you know, growing up, leaving childhood. I feel like you're probably in your middle adulthood. I don't think that I don't get the feeling of somebody who is naive, but I definitely think there's some old stuff. It really kind of like I see the visual of like particles floating in water, which is which is very similar to tea leaves floating around in water, right? But kind of like there's just a lot of stuff. And I get the, like, when you're drinking, you get little pieces of it in your mouth. So I feel like but I don't think it's terrible. I think you just like, I feel like maybe you're a nostalgic person. But at the same time, I think that you're very well-rounded and balanced. And so you're nostalgic, but not to a fault. You're sentimental, but not to a fault, okay? And I think it's just enough. Though I do think that the combination of some of these things, you have a tendency towards sometimes becoming kind of melancholy, having maybe a little bouts of listlessness, the blues. And, you know, I think that's true with a lot of people that I read for. I think that, especially the way the world is, how fast things come and go, our time is just slipping between our fingers, it seems like, and we vacillate between supreme boredom and, you know, just complete overstimulation constantly. It would be a little bit strange if you didn't have moments where you're feeling overwhelmed, nostalgic, and, you know, sometimes a little bit sad. Although I do see these fragments, I don't see that you're really in one of these states right now. I feel like you just really like this time of year as well. If you are watching this right now, when I'm putting this out, which is The second, I'm trying to think, where are we? The days go by so fast, you guys. I just can't keep up sometimes. We're in the second week of December, okay, December 2022. So, and this reading doesn't have to be for this time period exactly. It's just when you get a hold of it, you know, and it speaks to you. That's when it's for. These are getting kind of dry. Things are jumping around a little bit, but I think that you really enjoy this time of year. I feel like things are, you know, just kind of going along how they're supposed to. I feel like you have a good vibe going. You are feeling invigorated. I think you feel pretty inspired. And I see this little heart, and it looks like when I see a heart kind of shape, and like, oh, this is maybe, when I see a heart shape, and it has these things on the top like this, I always think of the Sacred Heart, okay? And so that doesn't have to be, for me, although, you know, I'm not Catholic, so, but the symbol for me is this divine love, okay, agape, the ultimate relationship of relationships, right, with the divine, with our higher self, with our guardian angel, with our God form, whatever it is, or goddess form, or other, whatever, some blending of the two, it doesn't matter how you perceive that. But this is a love that is beyond love, okay? And this is our spiritual love. So I see that is also a pretty prominent symbol here. And I didn't see that before until I kind of was turning the thing. So I think that you just are, gosh, you're just really aligned right now. You're really in it. And I get this sensation like in my heart shop, but not, it's like a burning in my like back. It's weird, like not a pain, although I do have back pain. I have a toddler, so but yeah, I think it's just like this real fire that is just flowing through you. You know, dare I say, it's kind of like that Kundalini action that those yogis and tantrics and the lot talk about, right? I think that you're just so activated right now. You're just feeling so, and you know what's funny is, okay, so this is the card that I pulled before this reading. I always kind of pull a tarot card or one of the Tatwa cards or something, just to kind of give me like a theme. And so this Mother Peace tarot deck, they have the daughter and son instead of, which I go usually, my meanings usually are derived from the Thoth deck, okay? So I relate this to the Princess of Discs, which would be in the Thoth deck. And so this archetype is the situation is that this woman, this daughter, this woman coming into her middle, you know, of the triple goddess phases. She's coming into the middle one from being younger into a young woman, young adult. She is just pregnant with life. She has kind of the key of the awe. She is, you know, just a completely shining conduit of the divine energy. She's the earthy aspect of earth, okay? She is the fertile soil. And I really feel like that is just totally what my cup is telling me about you. I think these two cards this card and this cup fit together perfectly. And now, you don't have to be a feminine person. You don't have to identify as a feminine person. You don't have to be, you know, I'm not saying that that's what it is. Although, this could relate to the feminine qualities within you, okay? Which, which I'm a huge fan of the school of Jungian thinking, Jungian alchemy and all of that, the animus and the anima. So we all have these, we have the masculine, feminine, and the wide spectrum of, well, you know, it's not necessarily gender identity, but these are all of the archetypes that exist within us, right? Who we are tied to. Now, it depends on which ones are activated, which ones you've integrated into yourself, okay? And which ones you've done work with. But every archetype also is kind of fractal in the sense that it also has these huge spectrums. So, and attributes tied to each like sliver of the spectrum, right? So, it doesn't matter if this is, it's, when I talk about this feminine, the daughter disc or the princess of discs or whatever, it doesn't have to be feminine necessarily, okay? Or apply to a feminine person. So, what am I talking about? Okay, so these two go together so well. I just see this complete wholeness going on, a really receptive space. You're just open, receptive. I think that you have this beautiful channel of the, like agape. I see like a burning heart. I feel it through the front of me to the back of me. I just see, you know, I see that, I just feel like to some degree, okay, to some degree, and I'm just kind of looking, and these, I'm sorry if this keeps going out. To some degree, you're just really put off by mundane interaction with people right now. And I think that's really the only big problem that you have going on, what you perceive to be a problem right now, is that you find the small talk, you find the courtship, mating rituals, all of that stuff with people, okay, with people who you don't connect with on a deep, deep level. You find it all tedious, okay? And I think that that is really the thing that's weighing you down, although you are totally in a great place. And I think that you have this desire to connect very deeply. And I don't know that that is happening right now. I don't see that happening. Now, I would suspect that it would be happening if there was something in the middle of this, okay? I don't see that yet, okay? And so this comes in with, if you do have a partner, and I don't think that there would necessarily be problems like you know, fighting, not getting along, maybe on the brink of breaking up. That's not what I'm seeing. I don't see any kind of big dramas or things or deals happening, but I think that you are struggling to connect with them on the level that you want to. And I think that this is a lot of a communication thing. I see here a figure that is kind of on its knees and looking down right here, okay? And and interestingly, right between one up here, one down here, and looking down kind of. I think that there's really just this, there's this feeling of wanting to be in a posture of devotion, worshipful, what's the, altruistic. I think that's in your nature. I think that's in your, and now, you know, I don't mean this in a, like you're somebody who wants to be compliant or ruled or anything like that. I think that this is very much like, like a divine act of, service, or, You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like you just really want to devote yourself to something or somebody. Or you want to come together and meet on a level where you are devoted in a deep way. Okay? And maybe that means that you're trying to connect on a level. And I think because this one is out of this realm of the physical mundane, and it's more up here towards the metaphysical, the higher thinking, where you know, there's more of a connection with like the God force and all of that. I think that this, somewhere in between, I think there's looking up, and I think there are the desires to be on a further level. Okay, so I'm really reading this in two ways, so that this is part of this kind of wanting to connect with somebody on a deeper level than feeling like you are being kind of courted and wanted and desired. Although that feels nice, but I think you really want to meet somebody on a level that is spiritual, that is, you know, you can talk about your deep interests, your little happy desires and interest, the things that you find in music, art, whatever it is, food, TV shows, books, what, you know, I'm listing off things that I like, but whatever it is that you're into, you want to connect on those levels, at least to be able to discuss some of that stuff, right? But on the other side of what I'm reading from this is that you want to connect to yourself in these ways, and you want to be fulfilled with yourself, being, you know, able to just be happy with your own experience within your own interests, your own spirituality, your own experience. And I think that's wonderful. And I think that a lot of times in life, these two desires to reach a point of fulfillment in both of these ways, with, you know, while connecting with somebody else in this way and connecting with ourselves, being happy and fulfilled within ourselves in these ways, they run parallel to each other. And, you know, some people say, okay, you have to wait till you love yourself before you can love somebody else. And yeah, that's true on some level, right? But like, I think you can also learn to love yourself through loving somebody else, right? It's like, it's never, you don't just like get to a point where you're like, okay, I love myself and I've done it. I like did the race, I got through the finish line, right? These things change, they shift, we grow, the variables change, and it's just, it's something that you always are working on. So, it's something that sometimes happens while you're in a relationship, and it's something that happens while you may be finding a partner, okay? And so that's okay. And I think that this really speaks to me that this is a big thing for you. It's a goal for you to find a deeper sense of wholeness, to really kind of have a sense of solidifying some of these things that you've really been working on, okay? And I just want to look at these ones here. This is getting dry. Okay, and so I'm going to turn this one, just kind of see what we have here. Just kind of all falling apart. And I don't know really. This one is a bit of a mystery to me right now. I kind of, at least the top part, I'm thinking of like a small serpent. A small serpent. And it's in the sky, because this is like that sky zone like I told you before. It's kind of that spiritual realm. And And this is not staying in focus. Okay. And I kind of just see a mountain. I see the serpent kind of going overhead. And I think this is just a beautiful kind of, it's just a beautiful pairing of symbols to me, especially in the context of this reading, because I feel like you are really a mountain climber, Libra. I think that this is your life's work. You are constantly bettering yourself. You're constantly working on yourself, tuning your understandings, your relationship with yourself and others. And I think that that serpent in the sky really is just acknowledges your desire for these deeper knowledges, the transmutation of knowledge into wisdom. I think that above anything else, you really prioritize a sense of what is really being able to transmute into being a wise person, being a grounded person, patience, being able to finish things. I think that ultimately, you know, you just really, and now the serpent has a fiery energy, of course, but I think that you seem to me to be, and especially with this card we talked about, the Daughter of Discs, you're a very down-to-earth person, okay? But your head is definitely up there and activated, very innovative, creative person as well. And a very intelligent person, I think. That is the big thing. And I think that, you know, I think that really, you're just in a great place. I think that your problems right now are just kind of dealing with the people in your life. It's not even a problem, just kind of deciding like what is your priority with people, right? And how are you going to fit them into your time management? I think that's another thing that's going on. It's just kind of, you know, when you're getting to know people or you talk to people, I mean, just talking to a few people a day, that's a lot of time spent on, you know, within your day. So I think that's part of what you have been considering. And let me see. I want to look at this over here because we had, okay. And so I see in the next 4 months, the next 4 months are really just, I see them full, very full of things. I think that you know, you have a very busy 4 months coming up. I think during the summertime / winter, depending on like where you are, if you're in the northern or southern hemisphere, I'm going to just talk about it like it's the northern hemisphere because that's where I'm at. But I think this summer you're going to have a little bit more time to, I think that really it looks like something like a creative project, or I think that probably you're going to be starting some kind of project. And I think you're going to be allotted more time in your life because it looks, I kind of see something that is prioritized right now that's important and is going to be falling away. And I'm seeing the 3 here and then the 2 here, right? So I think, and kind of falling away. So I think that right now, definitely you're busy, busy, busy. I think that you're really starting to have some, it seems like the beginning stages of getting ready for something you're going to be doing in a few months. I don't know what kind of creative project it is, but I think that something that is pretty large in your life is going to be coming to an end pretty soon. And I don't know, maybe it's something that you, I don't know, like maybe something like exercising, a hobby, something like that you're going to put to the side for a while. I don't think it's like forever gone, because I still see it on the edge. So I think that definitely there's going to be a little more reorganization of time coming up after the 4 months. And I think that's really the big thing. And I think that's one of the other big things on your mind is just this idea of time management. I see a lot of that kind of energy. I think that really you are thinking about simplifying so that you can focus on this thing that you want to work on. And I think that during this period where, and I'm sorry, I'm drinking some tea. My throat's getting, hopefully it's not too loud. There's going to be some simplifying so that you can start transitioning into this creative project. Maybe it's a work project, maybe it's something just for you. But I think this summer is going to free up some time for you. And that's going to be great. And I'm excited for you. So Libra, I think that's the message that we have today. I'm so thankful that I got to spend this time with you. I'm always, always so honored to bring these messages to each and every one of you. I hope that it's resonating with some of the viewers. And if you could go ahead and like, subscribe, that would be great. Subscribe. And leave a comment if you want. I would love to hear from you. I'd like to hear how these readings are finding you. Are they resonating with you? Are you seeing different symbols in the formations of the tea leaves? Yeah, just tell me how you're doing. I'd love to hear that too. Okay, great. So I will be back with another Libra video in about 12 days. If you are interested in looking at some of the other signs that are in your natal chart, go ahead. I mean, if you don't know what your natal chart is, you can easily find it on one of those websites where you just kind of put in the information of your birth time and where you were born and all that stuff, and it will tell you. So then you just go ahead and watch a video that correlates, especially with your lunar and ascending/rising sign. Ascendant and rising are the same thing. Okay, so when people say ascendant or rising, it's the same sign for you. It's only one sign. So if you go ahead and find those, or you already know them, go ahead and watch one of the other videos that have to do with that placement, and it will maybe give you a deeper understanding of your situation that's going on. It might be fun just to kind of see the other aspects of, of your configuration as well. Okay, thanks so much. This is Ula Tea Leaf Readings, and my name is Lenore. I hope you have a wonderful night.